Hi everyone, I'm your host, Alex Anzalone, author, and I share about topics related to spirituality, wellness, and manifesting a more beautiful future. Today we have a very special guest, Deirdre Morgan, spiritual counseling and empowerment coach. I'm a huge fan of Deirdre. I've personally worked with her and loved receiving her intuitive guidance. We did a numerology session, and I also did her 6-week empowerment program, which helps you undo any fear and lack programming, live from your heart, and create a more beautiful reality for yourself from this elevated space. I'm very interested in learning how to manifest a more beautiful reality and to share my journey with others. Over the years, I've realized that it's necessary to be in a full state of full self-love and trust in order to do this. And I love that Deirdre guides people all across the globe in this journey. So hi, Deirdre. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
My
I'm so
pleasure.
pleased to be here and share it all with you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Can you share with our audience a bit about your work?
Okay. Well, yes, I'd love to, because I'm all about empowerment. And empowerment program is about developing your own trust and confidence in yourself that for many reasons may have been diminished or even eliminated from your psyche when you were a child. So I have a program which allows you to build back your trust and confidence so you become your own authority and your life becomes an inside-out job rather than outside-in job. To do that, I love reading spiritual contracts. And that is usually the first thing we do because it gives you a greater sense of yourself. It gives you why you're here, what you must develop within yourself to evolve, and also what your purpose is. So it's a very cohesive session and reading that gives you a good, healthy base to start your own inner journey on. And after that, I do read the tarot in what I call a consciousness reading for the year, which shows you where you're at with yourself, what you need to develop more of, or what you still need to release. So it's just about being aware and expanding our awareness of our true self so you get to play and be your true self. That's empowerment.
Yeah. That is. That's beautiful. That's
and beautiful. As you know, we have the empowerment program, and I've just developed level 2 of empowerment, which is to wake the joy in you. So the first level is more about healing and mending and getting a greater sense of cohesiveness. And then the second level is about letting those joy bubbles up within you.
I love that.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Thank you.
Can you share, what does it mean to live from our heart? And how can we do that?
Well, you came up with a great question. We first have to realize that we've really been living from our brain, from our head, from our intellect, that it's all been about the mental, and the emotional has sort of been put on the back burner or annihilated, depending on your point of view and your experience. So to get back into your heart is a big shift. It's a quantum leap for your psyche and for your physical, mental, and emotional self. How we do it is I have a mantra: lead with the heart, back up with smart. So it becomes, doing this energize me? Is this something I'd love to do? Is this what I'd like to do? Do I get energized? Do I get excited? Okay? And that's living from the heart. After that, the intellect, now we're used to it being critical and saying, yeah, but that won't work because of this. So the head, as I like to call it, has always undermined or usually undermined what we'd really love to do. We have to be practical. We have to think ahead. There's 100 stories we tell ourselves. Mm-hmm. But as we're shifting into this new evolution, new stage of consciousness, the head has to back up with smart. How do I get this done? How do I make it work for me? So it can be a awesome process. And I think is one reason so many people they're going to therapy, they're going to coaching, they're going to plant medicine to break through all the stories we've told ourselves about why we can't be happy and why we can't just love what we love and be who we are and do what we love.
Yes, beautifully said. Yeah. We have so many layers
Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, that's beautiful. I've been really working myself on bringing my attention down to my heart space and my body and feeling into it and asking myself, what do I need? What does my body need? What does my heart need? Even in the moment.
There is a little quick process people can do. I like to use both my hands. You don't have to. You can use your hands, you can use your fingers. But I like to use my fingers on both hands because one hand represents the feminine and one the other, the masculine. And you put it at your heart chakra.
Oh, okay. I love that.
What that does is so many people say, yes, I'm happy, I'm in my heart, but they're up here. They're not feeling it. And we have gone into the age of feeling it. So
that's right.
When we put hands on our heart chakra, consciousness goes down to that physical place. And if you breathe in and out slowly, you'll feel your feelings. You'll feel your body getting lighter. You'll feel the joy that really is within you. And then you can say, do, pray for whatever you want.
I love, that's such an amazing tool. I'm going to start doing that. I love that so much because you're,
it's really effective. It's really effective because, the second thing you can do to get yourself more in a heart space or heart-based thinking is if you're indecisive or not sure about something, you can, again, go to your heart chakra, but ask your body, do I do this? And your body will always tell you the truth.
Wow.
So the heart deals, and I use the two together, the heart deals with yes or no questions. And sometimes it uses the body. So if it's a yes, you feel more relaxed. You might feel looser, light. If it's a no, you might feel heavier or constricted in some way. That's a no. And it's a very, very accurate guidance for what's right for you at that moment.
I love that. I'm gonna practice that myself more because I'm always trying to learn ways to connect with the wisdom.
Really helpful tools.
Yes.
And we forget about the heart and body because we've been conditioned out of it.
Yes, absolutely. And I found for myself, because I lived so much in my head in the past, that I just don't even know what I'm feeling sometimes. And it takes time to get to know, and recognize the signs and signals of our body. And it's like learning, about a new aspect of ourselves. And it takes a little time, but I love those tools. Thank you for sharing those.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you, when you speak about manifesting a new reality, you speak about it in terms of going from third dimension to fourth dimension and so on when we work together. And I'm wondering if you can share with everybody, what is the third and fourth dimension? Because there's a lot of talk about that now, but I think many people don't understand what that is.
Okay. Oh boy. I could talk for hours on this, but I'll keep it short. We've been living in the third dimension, and think of the third dimension as its base paradigm. The big paradigm is that we are of separation, of I am I and you are you, and I'm independent and you're independent, and we just do our own thing. And this separatist, though, approach to life gives us the sense, because we could say for our culture, our times, it was started with the Garden of Eden story and being banished from God, from the garden, because Adam and Eve were bad. They ate the apple. So we have that sense that if we don't do what the outside world expects, demands, asks, or we will be banished, we will be alone. And this is all done unconsciously. It's part of our collective here on the planet. And of course, when we're little, being left alone is not an option. I mean, that really puts a lot of fear or anxiety or trauma into us. So we learn to stand apart and listen to the outside world and what they're saying we should do, whether there are experts or authority figures in our life, or even our friends and loved ones. We're more what I call outer directed. So it's an outside-in world that has created duality, polarity, competition, diversity. And what it really comes from is a basic mentality that's about doubt, fear, and lack.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been living with this. It's what many people call the patriarchal. It is a power code, but the power code is power over, not power to. Okay? Well, the universe said, okay, humans, okay, Earth, you've had plenty of time learning and playing. And basically what we learned and played was we grow through pain and suffering. Well, one day I woke up and said, there has to be a better way. Look at what pain and suffering has produced: the violence, the injustice, the wars, the disease, the illness, the justice system that's built on punishment, not rehabilitation. I mean, you can go on and on, all right? So I said, what if we could grow from joy and love and happiness, which of course is our essence.
I love
Light,
that.
love, and joy.
Yes.
And the fourth dimension, you see, is about opening the heart again, going in and finding that heart and bringing it up and enjoy your life, yourself. So where the third dimension is about separation and individuality, the fourth dimension is about unity and connection and coming together. So I see the you in me. So I am you, you are me. And we connect and we focus, or we meet, we connect on the strengths and the gifts, or if you want to use the word, what we have in common or what's good, instead of let me protect myself from pain and suffering in that other individual over there. Because our past history has conditioned us to be skeptical of people instead of seeing the God self in them. So the fourth dimension is about opening your heart, living from your heart. And that's why I think so many people are so interested in exploring ways to find out more about themselves and be more of who they are and feel good with themselves. Because the power code in the fourth dimension is feeling good with yourself, so you manifest and contribute on terms you're happy with. Third dimension, I said, was power over or control of the environment through fear and intimidation. So you can see there's this huge shift. It goes against lots of people, core beliefs, approach to life. So for me, this is partially why everything's in so much chaos right now.
Yes. Is that because we're transitioning together collectively
Yes.
towards the fourth dimension, heart center?
Yeah.
So all the stuff is coming up.
Yeah. And I do think, men have a tougher road to hoe with this because they've had their heart and their feelings just pounded down, since they were about 4 years old. I mean, if they fell and started to cry, they were be a big boy or, don't be a crybaby. Whereas we women were allowed to cry. We were allowed to express ourselves.
Yes.
And that's just one example of the difference here. But so lots of relationships are suffering now because women, the feminine brings in the winds of change. So we're more apt to grasp new ideas and a new approach. But then we have to inspire the men who are pretty structured, pretty compartmentalized in their approach. So if you're out there and you're in a relationship, a lot more TLC and a lot more patience, please.
Yes, and more hugs.
Yeah. Yeah, they need more support because there are times they just don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
But they'll catch up.
Yes. I love that. So we're in this shift to the fourth dimension. It's about living from the heart. And
right now we have to get the heart opened again.
Yes.
So for me, some people think the heart is sad and got all the what I call the lowercase emotions in it. I see it one where the heart is always open. The heart is just filled with love. But I like to think we wrap layers of cotton bag around it to protect it when we've experienced disappointment or trauma. So we're unwinding the layers so the heart can express. And that will be in the end of the fourth dimension as we moved into the fifth.
And what is the fifth
Lots
dimension?
of people experience. What?
I'll let you finish what you were saying, but I was asking, what is the fifth dimension for people that don't know?
I was coming to that.
Okay.
A lot of people now in metaphysics and metapsychology believe we are in the third, yes, but we're going to the fifth. And I say, no, we're going to the fourth, where you get your heart open, because in the fifth dimension, it's about the head and heart learning to interact together. So if we move from third, where the head was here and the heart was here for most people, the heart, the feminine, was second-rate class citizen. If you want to interact, it's going to be like this. It's going to be the top-down, vertical, authoritarian structure still. And that's not the name of the game. Fourth dimension gets us comfortable connecting within, because it's an inside-out world. So we really learn that everything is energy, and what we bring to the table with our beliefs, our perspective, our feelings creates the experience with that energy. That's why I'm saying, no, we're going to fourth and clean up your act and then take it on to the fifth dimension where there's interaction.
That makes sense.
And less judgment.
Yeah.
But that's my point of view.
Yes, I love that. And I think that in order for people to make the transition to the fourth dimension, like we talked about, learning to bring it to the heart, I think that tool you shared is very helpful. Also working with healers. I've worked with healers all my life because we need support. We need help. So somebody can work with you. And there's many different healers out there that are doing this work.
There's so many options. Yes. So you pick someone who, believe it or not, resonates with you,
Yes.
whom you feel comfortable with, who you know you can share whatever you need to share, and you feel okay with it.
Yes.
The Chinese have a wonderful saying: when your friend is mourning, stand by his side or her side and hold the umbrella. That's really what coaching therapy is about. We hold the umbrella and stand by you, but you've got to do the work yourself. It's your journey.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's how I see it.
I love that. Mm-hmm. Deirdre, to end, where can people find you and how can they work with you? I
have a website, deirdresinsights.com, or you can email me at deirdresinsights@gmail.com. I'm easy to reach. I'd love to hear from people. I better spell it out, Deirdre, because there's so many ways to spell my name. Yes. So if you don't get it the way I spell it, you're not going to reach me. It's D as in David, E as in egg, I as in ice cream, R as in Richard, D as in David, R as in Richard, E as in egg. And then the S, and then insights. That's easy.
Beautiful. And
so I'd love to hear from people. I love what I do, and I really want the people to get comfortable living here, because the heart is where everything begins.
Yes, thank you. I think there's a little delay here, so I apologize if there's it was a little choppy, but I just wanted to say that I will also include your the spelling of your website and how people can reach you wherever I post this, so people will be able to find you.
That'd be great. I give Zoom talks. I have a monthly insight letter. So it's easy to reach. And if you want to send questions about what I've said or comment on it, please feel free. I love feedback from people. I just love the participation, because it activates us even more. The collective can release a little more fear and doubt and all those lowercase emotions that keep life living low.
That's right. I love that. Thank you so much, Deirdre, for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. This has been fun. I've enjoyed it. And as you can tell, I could talk on forever. So
I know. We're going to do another one.
I really appreciate you.
You're welcome. We're going to do another one. So
okay.
People can look forward to that.
All right.
All right, Deirdre. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You take care. Stay well.
Thank you.
And remember, it's all about love. Everything else is incidental.
Yes.
Okay. Take care.